Deuce and Mo, they tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live!
Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my
We have
favorite
officially
show.
made it to the
Do it for
NBA's
Deuce and Mo.
All-Star break. And
Deuce and
Kings
Mo.
fans, I think we could all use a goddamn break. How we doing on a Wednesday night?
Yeah. What up, Deuce?
Hey!
Hey, Morgan.
Hi.
I'm rooting for y'all.
Oh, basketball sickos, are you with
Let's
us?
go, Kings.
Oh, appreciate you guys joining us late night after the Kings got mollywopped yet again. This time to the Utah Jazz, 121 to 93. I had the score wrong on the lower third.
You did or Jeb? Who did it? I mean, we're going into the All-Star break and I gotta.
You know, I didn't want to point fingers tonight.
oh.
I did not want to point fingers tonight. is all
But
I'm
it was
gonna
that
say.
asshole?
I didn't want to point fingers tonight.
Was it? Hey, Jeb.
Jeb, apparently the All-Star break's already. I think it started for him about 2 weeks ago, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Just trying to give the Kings an extra point to draw attention to it is kind of like, it's kind of
That's
messed up.
weird.
No, I mean,
I don't get why we still haven't fired him.
it's disrespectful is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll switch it. I'll switch it. No problem, man. I mean, my goodness. Anyway, what's up, everybody? How we doing?
Guess we'll survive.
We've made it this far. We'll survive. The Kings actually did score 94 points last game against New Orleans, so that might have been the confusion. You know what I mean?
Wow, I love that you have an entire analysis of what the confusion could be. It's almost like you're in Jeb's head.
No, I'm just more saying it's kind of funny that the Kings, in their last game, scored 94 points against one of the worst teams in the league, and then mustered 93 tonight in their final game before the break.
Mustard.
If you have not done it yet, dear God, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. All does help our channel grow. This is going to be the final time we are on live until after the All-Star break in all likelihood.
Yeah. God. Crazy.
I think everyone could use just a break from Kings basketball.
Just like a hot sec.
Yeah.
Give me a hot sec, you know?
We have a lot to talk about tonight. We'll sprinkle in this game. AJ was at the game.
AJ Dybantsa.
Dybantsa was at the game courtside. I'd like to apologize to him on behalf of Sacramento.
Yes. Like,
Hey,
that's
look,
not it.
Don't judge us on that.
Like,
not-
no.
no.
Keegan's hurt. DeAndre Hunter's hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
You
don't-
guys are missing, right? That's right. Ignore the fact that they're 12 and 44. All right, you want to start the pod? Do some Mo. We're coming down in 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, they tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, the podcast that you know.
Morgan,
Dude.
I've got some good news for you.
Oh, some good news. What's that?
We have made it to the All-Star break.
Hey,
oh my God.
that is
All
good news.
of the basketball sickos who have watched 56 games of Kings basketball, you get some time away from Sacramento Kings basketball.
You've earned it.
And you only have 26 games to go.
Yeah.
And we're going to need you to be on the journey with us
Yep.
the rest of the way.
You're not
But,
going anywhere, but you get a second.
Hey, take a week off.
1 week.
1 week.
And then you're going to be right back here on the 19th. Okay.
The Kings' final game before the All-Star break in Salt Lake City against a Utah Jazz team that's been in the news a lot. We'll talk about that. But the Kings were down a lot of players tonight.
They were.
No Zach LaVine, no Domantas Sabonis, no DeAndre Hunter, no Keegan Murray, no Malik Monk, and no Russell Westbrook. So 6 players down. The Kings started tonight. Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, DeMar DeRozan, Precious Achua, and Maxime Reynaud. The Kings promptly got clapped tonight. The first quarter, I think, told the story. Kings were down 17-13 with 5:21 to go in the first. They were outscored 22-7 the rest of the way. In fact, the Sacramento did not make a field goal from the 6:05 mark of the first quarter until 11.2 seconds to go in the quarter. It did not get any better. Utah outscored them 39-20 in the first, never looked back. They beat Sacramento tonight 121-93. Sacramento has now lost 14 consecutive games, and they head to the All-Star break at 12-44. You want one more stat, Morgan?
Please. Yep, bring it.
In the last 2 games, 11 of 64 from 3. That's 17%. Hey, everybody. This podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sativo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. Hi, Mo.
Hi. Those numbers really are depressing.
Dude.
And you're exactly right. With this game, although there's not much to actually break down and analyze, there's other things that we were talking about before coming on. And I think what's the most frustrating thing is not just the 17-0 run in the first quarter for the Jazz, or some of those numbers that you pointed out. It was truly like some of these young guys weren't controlling what I felt like they could control, just even on an effort level of doing the extra things. And I'm not questioning their effort or anything. It was more like, why weren't you there on this defensive possession? Why didn't you get inside position on that rebound? Why did you, take so long to pump fake and go? Just the little things that you see that they're capable of and that they've done in other games with some of the other vets in there and a different flow of things. It wasn't there for these young guys. The confidence, the flow, the assertiveness to just like play basketball the right way. They looked like the young crew out there. And I've seen them not look like it. In fact, look like the better unit out there at times with this Sacramento Kings team this year. And that's why tonight I don't look at it like, oh, here's the shift. Here's the young guys. Here's what everybody wanted. So this is what you're going to see. This isn't the shit you're going to see every single night. It's just not. But it's frustrating that we got to see it 2 nights in a row headed into All-Star break.
And against 2 opponents that, to be honest, you feel like, well, maybe if you play well, you have a chance. Like we were talking about after the Cleveland game. Like, hey, if you play like that, like you might get a couple of wins before the break. And I know some people like, holy shit, don't do it. Well, they didn't just not do it. They just weren't competitive in the last 2 games. And that's kind of where it's at. Like, I can live with like young guys making mistakes,
100%
shots. Like Nick Clifford tonight has a night he'll probably never forget in the NBA.
I hope he doesn't.
1 of 15 from 3. Excuse me. 1 in sorry.
Okay.
Rewind.
Yep.
1 for 15 shooting. 0 for 5 from 3. Finished with 6 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Why did you say that, Morgan?
I love the 8 rebounds, by the way. But I say that because it was how he was shooting some of these shots that was frustrating me, because I'm like, no, you are way more confident than what you're showing right now. And I think it came with some of the short shots. I know you and I were also breaking down too, like being a rookie in the NBA with 50 something games under his belt
and playing more minutes right now than he is used to. I mean, he played 38 minutes tonight.
You got to add in the layers. So you go, okay, like, maybe at this point in the season, like those tired legs, a lot being put on him, especially in the last week or two. Sure, add it in there. But he's a good enough player, smart enough player to make the in-game adjustments. And I thought, like, how can you find it more from your base on your outside shots, or open outside shots, by the way, or even when you're driving it in, taking it into the paint and you're in the mid-range, like you were short on so many different shots that you just needed to have that extra focus in using your base, using your legs, or using your strength, whatever it was. And I felt like that extra focus at finishing just wasn't there for Neek tonight. And I know for him, when you're getting these big opportunities right now, like this isn't the rookie play that you want talked about when it comes to you. You want to make sure that you are talked about like a serious player in this league that can help the depth of this team. And this just hurts going into All-Star break.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
No. And I hear that. What you said makes sense. This goes to also just kind of a larger problem of the season where, for most of the season, I'd say like 95% of the season, we've been on podcasts talking about the Kings losing and not seeing enough of these young players to put them in situations. And now they're getting opportunity when none of the vets are there. So you're just like, hey, you go from having like kind of a really inconsistent role where you're not getting a lot of touches to like, hey, not only are you in the rotation now, you're starting, you're playing 38 minutes, and can you handle the ball too? And can you also, to start this game, defend Lauri Markkanen? I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying from a developmental standpoint, not exactly easy, right? For everybody, just like, hey, go kind of figure it out. And that's just where it's at. And I also think there's like the larger issue where we've seen this all year. What's the Kings' identity offensively?
Yeah.
In the first portion of the season, when they were relatively healthy, even though they really haven't been healthy this year, it was so much your turn, my turn. It's like, oh, Levine's turn, Russ's turn, DeMar's turn. There's no structure offensively. And
zero.
When I look at when there's no structure for young guys,
it's not good.
It's not good at all.
No,
I mean,
you can't say go play freely.
The last couple of games, what I've seen is a lot of like, hey, all right, we're going to try to create something fast. If it's not there, let's find DeMar. All right, DeMar, go to work. The double comes, get off of it.
Everyone
we'll attack
move.
more.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on.
No. And there was a few times, even in that last game, where you'd see someone like Max with a little ghost screen or tap and then would slip off of it and be in the middle. And, I think that's why he had the game that he ended up having against the Pelicans. And his activity is so noticeable. It's so present. But I think you're exactly right. There's so many times with Devin Carter in the starting lineup, his first NBA start tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. That he was just going downhill with the intention to go downhill to the basket and not create in any other way and not look for anything else. It was to finish at the rim. I don't care what contact was there. And I don't think it was because he was like, I got to get mine. But I just think that's where his basketball IQ is as a ball handler, right? Like where it's like, I'm fast enough. I'm athletic enough. I can reach over guys. Like I have the confidence. You never have to question his confidence to try and do that. But it ends up being the wrong move because there's so many bodies there, or like you're trying to fight through the contact when you actually have like you get a spray three or the ball can move around a little bit more. And I thought he did a lot of that tonight. Obviously had some really good attacks too.
He ends up with 19 points, but just 4 of 13 shooting. I'm looking because I wrote over it, as you could see.
Oh, okay.
4 of 13 shooting. He's 1 of 6 from 3. He did most of his damage at the line, 10 of 12 at the free throw line for Devin Carter. Yeah, I mean, even with him, I'm like, again, not a lot of experience here. And now you're starting an NBA game and your feel isn't there. It's like, okay, yeah, you want me to put pressure on the rim? I can do that. But it's also understanding and reading the game. And I've maintained that Devin Carter is not a point guard either.
I was just about to say, but that's something else. Like I have to rewind and remind there's no serious point guard in this game tonight. There's primary ball handlers at times within different units.
Right.
Like, and thank goodness you had vets like Precious and DeMar out there. And I say, thank goodness, my only point to that being because I think it's always good to have an adult in the room. Especially with such a young team. There was a unit out there tonight. Deuce is texting me going, we called that G League game.
Yeah, there was a unit at one point, and I'm pretty sure there was one Stockton game this year. I could be mistaken.
Okay,
I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was like Devin Carter. Actually, no, I think the lineup was like Isaiah Stevens Daquan Plowden, Neat Clifford, Cardwell, and Rayneau. And I'm like, we saw that. We saw that.
Called that.
Yeah, yeah. That was in the G League.
Yeah.
Okay. And someone like Daquan Plowden tonight, plays about 33 minutes in this game. Again, perspective. He's on a 2-way contract and has spent about 97% of his season in the G League with Stockton. So, like, when we're talking about this game in particular, like, obviously the Kings being so undermanned, I'm not acting like, guys, how'd they lose 14 in a row? They're losing to a Jazz team that's not good. Dude, Utah is far more talented than they are.
Yeah.
And they had their guys playing.
Yeah.
It's not about tonight. It was just like, wow, okay. You would have liked to seen a little more positive moments from the young guys and competitiveness in a game, and not be in a situation where it's the end of the first quarter and you're like, well, this fucking game's over.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, there was times they looked scared, and I'm like, I've seen 3 of you with 2 vets within a certain lineup this year on this Kings team where you look better than the starting group of this Kings team.
It was rough, but again, if you would have told me all those guys were out, I would be like, yeah, the Kings are going to lose bad tonight.
You pretty much
and
said that,
I think shout out in the chat is talking about this too, not only from an inexperienced standpoint, from just a pure size perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, you've Markin and Jaren Jackson out there. I mean, Nurkic, Bailey's got good size. Cody Williams off the bench. I think some of the most disappointing numbers tonight. Look at the rebounding. Kevin Love had 9 rebounds in 15 minutes. Vince Williams had 8 in 21 minutes.
And
oh my God.
That's what was frustrating. I felt like it was those little or big effort moments where it was just like not putting a body on someone or letting the bounce get to Kevin Love and letting him do the extra things. Be physical with someone.
Yeah.
I just didn't see that extra focus and those extra things tonight watching this game. And I want to see the young guys thrive, even if they're getting clobbered, even if it's a losing game, but like you're seeing that spike of energy from them, or even DeMar is doing the right thing out there and allowing them to flow. But it's exactly what you started saying. They needed structure. This unit, this group, if they're going to be playing going forward, I'm sure, obviously guys are going to get healthy. It's going to be a little different. But if this happens again, like, have structure for this group.
Yeah,
because
you can't be running how you run things with like DeMar or Zach or Russ in the fold. And even so, like, that hasn't been smooth at all. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, the Kings are just shorthanded. It was bad the last couple of games. No, it's been bad the whole year. They're 12-44. Okay. They've lost 14 straight ball games. And their last win came, January 16th against Washington?
Yeah.
Their last road win came in early December. It was December 6th at Miami.
oh my God.
It's crazy. So I think they've lost 15 in a row on the road.
And that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Doug was talking after this game about everything, 14 straight and everything else. And it's like, I've seen, the bad times as a player. Now I've seen as a coach, and it's, not easy. But the thing that I do like about Doug is that he never seems defeated. And that is just good leadership wise, to like not be you're supposed to be leading this crew of men, and you're not just down in the dumps, but also like you do have to change up some things. It doesn't have to be the way that you approach a loss or anything like that. Like, you don't have to be more pissed off or defeated just to make a point. But I think like when we see some of these things stylistically with groups like this, it's like, try it all now. Like, it's the end of the season. You've won 12 games. Even with the young guys, try it all.
Your point about like the free flow and stuff, and just go out there and play. You're right. With some of the young guys, it's like, no, you can't do that. Like,
Run a fucking play.
Run some plays, dude. And I know, again, teams don't run as much as we used to see in the league, where it's like, did you look over the coaches calling something? It just doesn't happen as often. But there are still plays, right, that are run, and there's still off-ball movement. There's a lot of things you can be doing that can make life a little bit easier and generate good looks, besides like, all right, screen and roll. Okay, it's not there. All right, pull it back out, kick it out.
The weak side,
DeMar
pin
ISO.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's kind of the same stuff over and over again. And it's like, well, if DeMar's got it going right now, so just kind of do that. Wait for the double team to come. We'll swing it. It's like there has to. like Utah, for example. Utah
Yeah.
moves the fuck out of the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it helps when
God.
you've got like legit size too, like Markkanen, his ability to space the floor at 7 foot. Jaren Jackson now into the fold. Nurkic has got some skill. And then, Collier is filled in at the point guard spot in for Keontae George. And he's playing, not tonight, but he's been playing a shit ton of minutes and filling it up with the assists. He had 14 assists tonight in 26 minutes.
Doug said like 2 games ago in a post-game presser, he was like, we're like the second best team, coming out of timeouts and with that structure. And I'm now that like puts it in my mind, like, get every half court possession, 24 seconds, or like by the time you get over the half court and you have 18 seconds, run a play.
Yep.
Have that structure.
You can have freedom with an offense when there is a cohesiveness, right? Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, the ultimate goal in basketball should be like, God, we could just play free. And everyone just kind of...
It's art. It's beautiful.
You think about some of the great offensive teams we've seen, like the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Steph
and
their
Draymond
heyday.
playing off each other.
Dude,
People understanding to relocate because Steph...
I mean, they know where everyone's going at all times. Like Draymond and Steph's chemistry together. You think about those Spurs teams in the early, mid 2010s.
People were bored with them.
And then they evolved into like that offense that was just crazy movement. The Kings teams, right? But there were still plays being run. You just had skilled players who were just doing it over and over again. And it would just, when you have like high basketball IQ everywhere, it's just beautiful, right? And you have to have talent too. We get all that. But I watch other teams like the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
You look at their roster right now, it's rough, right? They've got some young talent. Like, I get it. But like you like Cedric Howard and Cam Spencer's had some fun games, but they're in a weird spot at this point.
Absolutely.
But when you watch them, it flows. It moves. And I just don't see that with Sacramento. You need structure, especially with young players.
This team's especially.
Call out some plays. And I think the point you just made about the after timeout plays where it's like their second efficiency, he said?
That's what he said.
Okay, so Doug Christie the other night said their second in efficiency on the plays run after timeouts. I'm like, well, yeah, because you drop a play.
Yeah. He even talked about like, so obviously we can get it done when it comes to structure and like And I understand it's like if that's not how this game is played in today's NBA, but you also have to adjust to what you have and you have to be able to adapt. And I think if he just did that a little bit more to end this season, I think it'd be to maybe see some success.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. I did see one comment that said, I think Morgan's lungs are happy. Not a lot of fog lately. No fog machine at all.
Thank you.
Dude, if they won tonight, I was letting that fog machine rip the entire podcast.
Oh my God, I'm so glad they lost.
Overcommitter in the chat says, the Grizzlies have tied Jerome. Okay, you get my point. I'm aware. Jerome just got back, though. My point is they've just had some identity. Obviously, Jerome's been really strong since returning back from that injury. And a lot of people talking about the draft as well.
God. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ being there.
AJ Dybantsa was at the game, sitting courtside tonight. The BYU star who's coming off, what was that, 36-point game the other day? Dude. And some of the plays were just outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Remember the one where he's like stumbling on a drive?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was stumbling and then ended up like down the left side on the baseline, tripped over a guy. It seemed like the guy was almost pulling down his leg and he still found a way to control his body and finish on the right side. Again, one of the many amazing plays. You saw him at the free throw line a lot because he knows how to draw a foul, but he also knows how to get to his spots and elevate over anybody. I mean, he is long. He is composed while being young, athletic, can run the floor, run his lanes. Like, I like him a lot.
Gets to the free throw line, a menace in the mid range.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he's going to be a problem at the next level.
Yeah. And so to see him there tonight, obviously he goes to BYU. So he's in Utah and he's like, hey, let me check out a couple of the teams I might end up playing for, right?
Is that why you went there? He's like, dude, these teams are really tanky. I could be on one of these teams.
Yeah.
Dude, all right. AJ, I'm sure you're listening to a Kings Jazz podcast after you went to the game.
Yes, of course.
don't judge us on that.
No.
Like we can change. What do you
Or-
want? What do you want?
Judge and be like, do you want to be a star? Hey, kid, well, you want to be a star?
AJ's like, wait.
I am a
Wait,
star.
I could play with like Lowry Markkinen,
No,
Keontae
no, no,
George,
no.
Jaren Jackson, or wait, who's over there?
Hey,
Who's
kid,
that guy?
You have no choice. I don't know if you know this. You have no choice. Where the ball goes, you go.
Oh, dude.
What?
Yeah.
What?
We can dream. We can dream.
It was fun. It was fun seeing him sit courtside.
Here's a perspective to have.
What's the
as we are
perspective?
at the All-Star break, 56 games into the NBA season, 26 games to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a good pick.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have a good pick.
Probably. I mean, top 10, but I'm gonna
Yes.
go out on a limb and say maybe even top 5 now for sure.
Yeah, you would be guaranteed a top 5 pick in the draft if you finish with the worst record. And right now, the Kings do have the worst record in the NBA at 12-44. I didn't see if the Pacers won again tonight.
Yeah, give me.
And
give
they
me
were
some,
really shorthanded. Oh my God, they won?
They-
Morgan,
they
they were
beat
so
Brooklyn.
shorthanded. Dude, they sat all their guys tonight and won.
Wow.
Holy shit. So they're up to 15 wins. Oh my God, I had no idea that happened.
I'm not excited.
Okay, so the Kings right now sit at 12-44. Washington's at 14-39. The Pelicans at 15-41. Indiana at 15-40. Brooklyn at 15-38, and now Utah at 18-37. Since they've changed flattened the lottery odds, by the way, the team with the worst record has not gotten the number 1 pick. So, that's just one perspective. But what I always want to inform people is if you have the worst record, you will not go any lower than 5.
Lower.
And that would suck to drop to 5. It would be like, it'd be like a letdown.
Yeah, sure.
But in this draft, there's so many good players. You're going to get a good player. And I think there's going to be players drafted in the teens that people are going to love too. So let's be real about it.
Yeah.
We all obsess about the draft. Be like, this is the order. This is my big board. And then 4 years later, you're like, oh God, that looked like fit. Like that.
I know.
So you just never know. But what we do know about this draft, there's some talent at the top that you go, oh, they're good. They're going to be good NBA players.
Yeah.
Like Darren Peterson, if he could stay on the floor and everything's, but like, let's just say he could
His
stay on the
talent
floor.
alone.
You go,
Oh my God. I mean,
yeah,
right now.
you go, that's a franchise guy. AJ Dybantsa, I look at him as a franchise guy.
Yeah. Me too. Now, and it's so funny too, because I don't mean to compare, but when I look at someone like Cooper Flagg, I don't feel like anyone as of right now is going to be like Cooper Flagg in their first year in the NBA in this draft class. But by the way, hey, I could be completely wrong.
That's what, well, I was talking to someone at a Kings game recently. Who was it? It was an NBA guy. Anyway, they said they believe that if Cooper Flagg was in this draft, he would go number 1.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised by that. And not, I mean, obviously Cooper is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh, like no doubt about it ahead of those guys. That's okay. I mean, I think Cooper Flagg's amazing.
Yeah.
And
See
last
that
night,
nasty ass
dude,
dunk? Yeah. Like,
dude.
no, and it's not just because of the nasty ass dunk or the highlights or whatever else, but I think the closest to compare his game to would be like someone like AJ Dybantsa, because he obviously has that length, can stop, pop, elevate over someone, get to his spots, whatever. Again, I'm just comparing that. I'm not
It's their
comparing.
size,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and you see how it translates into the NBA when you do have someone with that size and can be versatile with that size right away. And there's a lot of value to it.
Someone in the chat, snoozer for boozer. I think I know who you like in the draft. AJ franchise, why? Athleticism? No, it's not just that. I mean, when you talk about a guy his size, can create, get to the free throw line, elite in the mid range, he feels like he could score at all 3 levels. I think the effort level is really strong. He's not perfect by any means, but I've even seen some of the playmaking I've liked too. I thought in some of these games he plays, he gets a whole bunch of different looks, doubled all the time. And I think more times than not, he makes the right play.
Yes, he does.
He didn't play well against Kansas. No, he didn't play well. But it's funny how we can't like. You have to judge the body of work, in my opinion. And I know that game got so much attention because it was Peterson, Dybansta, like it was so big, and there was a ton of hype around it. But he's been damn good 90% of the season.
That the first half of that game that Darren Peterson played, because he didn't play the second half, I remember turning to Deuce and just being like, "Oh yeah, AJ, who? It's all about Darren Peterson. You know, it's fun. It's I'm just having fun with it in those cases. But at the same time, like even with someone like Cam Boozer, you absolutely still talk about everything he can do for a team, his ability to stretch the floor, be so fundamentally sound. Like there's beautiful things about his game. Again, it's just what I'm attracted to when it comes to these players.
Yeah. And he does defend. Someone in the chat saying Wagler is going to be the second coming of Curry. I mean, let's tap the brakes a little bit on
because he had
that. We'll see.
9 threes in that last game or whatever it was.
That was a couple weeks back. He had
was
9
that
threes.
it? Okay.
Yeah. But he's having a good year. He's intriguing. And it just the point is you're bringing up Wagler, and it's like, yeah, that's how much talent is in this draft. Like teams are going to be very happy with where they're at. So the whole point is here we are at the All-Star break, and the Kings are just dreadful, just fucking awful. But if there's a year to just be bad, this is the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now there's so many things that have to go your way. It's like, one, hopefully you get some lottery magic and you get a top 3 pick. For me, that's my wish. Give me a top 3 pick, okay? And then next, you've got to draft the right guy. Then you've got to have everything in place for that player to develop. You know, these guys coming into the draft, we label them as like franchise cornerstones. You know, that's just the labels we put on them. But they also need help because these are young men. They're 18, 19 years old. And, you know, to expect that they're just going to walk in and save your franchise and turn everything around is unfair to them. We haven't seen even some of the best guys drafted number 1 or whatever overall. They don't just come around and automatically turn you around overnight.
No.
Some can, but Victor lost a lot of fucking games, right?
Yep.
Cooper's losing games right now. LeBron year 1, like it wasn't always smooth sailing. So it's you might get a little lottery luck, but then it's on your organization, the Sacramento Kings, to build the right foundation around so this player can reach their fullest potential. And we're not having a conversation 4 or 5 years from now going, yeah, the Kings had to trade him because like he wasn't working here and now he's going somewhere else.
Foundation is job security for a coach, consistency with that. It is having I know everyone throws around the word culture, but it's like it's having whatever that culture is, it's about just having a culture, and it's about having the roster construction that makes sense, not just for that draft prospect, but for the modern day NBA and having that depth in team that you need. So even if one person was unhealthy during an NBA year, which happens a lot, that you're still able to pick up the pieces and play kind of the same way.
In the chat, Pablo says, tanking won't help the Kings. They can't develop and build a team around him. All right, well then, like, what are you watching for? Then give up and stop watching basketball. I mean, you have to have some hope. As a fan, there's got to be like a sliver of hope. Like maybe.
Well,
like,
my hope is always that, I mean, to be honest, is that they keep changing a front office every couple of years. So then I just go, okay, well, maybe something new is going to happen. There's where my hope has seriously lied the last couple of years.
I was talking to someone today about that, and it's like thinking back to that 08-09 Kings team that won 17 games. My God. I mean, such an awful team. Like just one. You compare it to this team, and I know that's been a debate. It's like, hey, which team is worse? It's like if you go by a pure talent perspective and you go, well, this year's team. What the hell? Like, how?
It shouldn't be that bad.
That team looks bad on paper, and it was bad on paper. It's just a bad team. But that year, the Kings, it was a different lottery time. They had a 25% chance of getting the number 1 pick. 25% chance. They dropped to 4.
Insane.
But you think about that draft, they drafted Tyreek Evans. So I just want to go over the level of like moods. Okay, because this is good for us to remember because where the Kings are at. Kings right now, worst record in the NBA. Let's say it holds up. Worst record in the league. Okay.
Okay.
So that time they had the worst record in the league, 17 wins. They threw big parties. ESPN was in town covering this, right?
Jesus, yeah.
All right. 25% chance at getting the number 1 pick. They dropped to 4. Oh, the disappointment. They draft Tyreek Evans. Tyreek Evans wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And that rookie year, even at the end when they were forcing the 25-5 shit down everybody's throat, trying to get him there, whatever. But there were like moments like, dude, we got a star, right?
Yeah. I remember
And then
that.
2 years later, you're like, Tyreek, like, what are you doing here? Even going back to the early Steph Curry years, because he was in that draft too, right? The Warriors get him. I mean, he had so many injuries.
Ankle
People were down on him,
Yep.
just like, oh, he's fragile. He got his extension, and people are like, really? Are you sure you want to give him the extension? So my point is, you just never know how this shit is really going to play out.
There's luck involved.
But like, be hopeful every once in a while.
Yeah.
I told this story to Morgan the other day. I wanted to share it here.
Oh.
I was at the grocery store the other day.
Love this.
And I was in the checkout line, and the person was talking to me about the Kings. And I was like, yeah. What can I say? Oh, they're bad.
I love usually the first question from people is, how you holding up?
Yeah. No, I get that. Hey, are you doing okay? Yeah. You get used to it after a while. So anyway, I'm like having a conversation. Yeah, they're not very good, blah, 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 blah. And the guy behind me goes, yeah, I feel like a lot of this is my fault. And I go, hey man, they've been here 40 plus years. You cannot take responsibility for all their misfortune. And he goes, no, I feel like I kind of have to. And I'm like, okay, this guy's hooked me. Explain.
Tell me more.
He said, back when the Kings had the number 1 pick in the draft, they've only had the number 1 pick once ever, right?
Uh-huh.
And you have to go back. Let's just, Sacramento, okay, let's go 1989 NBA draft. I think it was 89. I just want to make sure. Yes, 1989. Okay. So he's like, my dad was really close with Greg Lukenbill, the owner of the team. They were friends. And the draft was coming up. And my dad was telling him, you got to draft Sean Elliott. Sean Elliott went number 3 in this draft to the Spurs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you got to draft Sean Elliott. And Greg Lukenbill said, if you name your son, who's going to be born soon, if you name your son Sean Elliott, I will draft Sean Elliott number 1. So the guy goes home, tells his wife, hey, this is the deal. Like, we name him Sean Elliott. He's going to draft Sean Elliott number 1. His wife did not like the name. Said no. And named the kid Scott Elliott. Scott Elliott, whatever his last name is, was the one who told me that story at Co-op at the store.
Well, that is amazing.
I don't know if it's true, but it's a great story.
And he sounds like a great storyteller.
So basically, the guy I was talking to, his mom is at fault.
No.
It's her fault that the Kings drafted Purvis Ellison back in 1989
this world
with the
blames
first pick.
women enough. No. But what I will say, if Scott Elliott wanted to reverse the curse, he would legally go change his name to Sean.
Or
Ooh.
he'd go get someone pregnant and say, we're naming the kid AJ.
Whoa. What?
Or Darren.
Okay,
Well, you can't
how
do
about
that.
get someone pregnant just sounds so aggressive. So let's just so with his wife or girlfriend, consensual and get AJ.
Obviously.
and birth AJ.
Yeah.
Dybansta Elliott?
You know, it doesn't matter anymore. It's gone because there's no influence. His dad at the time had a level of influence. There's no influence. You're not going to change it. It is what it is.
Is
it
that
happened.
kind of crazy though that an owner would have been swayed to draft Sean Elliott just because his friend was going to name his kid Sean Elliott?
You know, sometimes more you just have to let the story be the story.
I do love
because when
the
you start
story.
picking it
Yeah,
apart,
you're
it's
right.
like, yeah, maybe this is all a lie and the guy just lied to me. But I also go, why would this random person in line at the co-op tell me this story? Like, what's?
Oh no!
about-
I don't think it's a lie at all. I
I
completely
know,
believe it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, who knows?
It's just
It's a
interesting.
legend. I don't know.
I love it. No, and I love it. And it's very cute that he told you that story. So yeah, anyone, if you have a baby on the way, I repeat, name it AJ, please.
No, but then the Kings would have to have the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have influence to convince the Kings, whoever's making that decision.
No. See, now you're going too far. Just put it out there in the universe.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see a whole bunch of kids that were born in 2026 named AJ.
Or Darren. Or some would say Cam. Some would say Caleb. Maybe not.
These are
one.
all very like unisex names, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
So like,
Sure.
boy or girl, name your kid. Come on, people.
Yep. Simple JD says, this is what a 12-win season does to the human brain. Yeah. Yeah. We got more of the podcast coming up, including our Butcher and Barrel player of the pre-All-Star break.
Oh.
I'm not picking a player from this game
Okay,
tonight.
good. I love that.
But first, want to say we're presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
The best of the best. We love them. And you can become a wine club member as well. They were just showing that, there's so many different options that you can have if you are a wine club member. Just go to sentivovineyards.com. Make sure to become a wine club member there, or you can just get any bottle anytime there, or go to their tasting room in Sassoon Valley. They are the best family. It is the best wine. Check
Big
them
Kings
out.
fans, too.
Big Kings fans.
And we're presented by our friends over at
Medic Ambulance. Woo, woo. We've teamed up with Medic Ambulance, the trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. From life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is here to serve. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
Appreciate everyone's support of the podcast. Shout out to Felix, who says, I will name my kid AJ Peterson Boozer.
I love it. Just a little combo. Why not?
Cover all the bases.
And then it's a great story to tell everyone later on in life.
Adam in Lincoln says, sorry, guys, I named my kid Papa Giannis. Let's get to some super chats. Jake saying, do you think it's time to start talking about looking for another coach? I love Doug, but I don't see him as the best guy for developing the young talent. Appreciate the super chat, Jake. I mean, I think that's an after-season conversation. When you look back, let's see how this next 26 games go with the young guys, and then you kind of make a decision then. But in terms of in-season coaching changes, dear God, no. We've had enough. Let's just ride this one out, talk about things in the offseason.
I like that.
I also missed a super chat last podcast, and let me tell you, people let me know about it, and I feel bad.
Wow.
Well, I do feel bad. Because I want to acknowledge them, and sometimes I miss them because we're doing other things.
It's on Jeb, but it's on me,
Like last podcast, Doug said 4 from 31 from 3-point land. Shaking my head.
What's he saying tonight?
Also, GDM 415 says, I came from Colorado to watch the Pelicans game. It was rough, but at least the arena food was the best I've ever had. Catfish, gumbo, brisket, and happy birthday, Neek.
Oh,
I didn't know they served all that at the Pelicans games.
yum.
Wow. Also, 4C Bar said that last loss against the Pelicans was the best loss of the... Oh, excuse me. No, we didn't. That was the Cavs game. Best loss of the year. Love the development. Now we're going way too far back. My bad.
I
That's my
remember
bad.
that game.
My bad.
That was a fun game.
Okay, here's a question. And look, Jebediah already has his answer, and we have to live with the result. But if you had a Butcher and Barrel player of the pre-All-Star break for the Sacramento Kings, who would it be?
I think the bright light of what this year has become.
Don't say it yet, because I'm going to write down mine.
Okay, I bet you it's the same one. 100% it's going to be the same one.
Yeah.
Let's say it on 3 at the same time. We just say first name and last name.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Dylan Cardwell.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's see if Jeb agrees.
Yeah, Jeb.
He's our Butcher and Barrel player of the pre-All-Star break. Dylan Cardwell went from undrafted to a 2-way player, now on a 4-year deal. He is our Butcher and Barrel player of the pre-All-Star break.
Great story. Great vibes.
You know, great story, awesome vibes.
Yeah.
And when you think about expectations, what we saw from him in the summer league, and also we were looking at pictures of him from like when he was at Auburn last year.
Yeah.
Guy was thick, a little beefy,
He's in
little
shape
stocky.
now.
He has lost a lot of weight
Yep.
and has gotten in phenomenal shape. And to see his growth from the summer to early in the season when we were watching him play games for the Stockton Kings to when he was first in the NBA, you're like, whoa, I don't know. To now, it's been a special little rise for him.
It has another like 10 rebounds tonight as well, by the way. But it really has his ability to grow each game, but to bring a certain level of excitement, not only through his antics, but through his style of play and his just pure effort 24/7 when he is out there on the floor and his willingness to become a better player each game. I love this for the Kings.
Some of the people in the chat are offering their own.
Oh.
We have a few people mentioning Maxime and Russ.
Oh.
Russ getting some love.
Wow.
Stanley says, what about DeMar for playing every game? Honestly, pretty impressive.
That
he played
is.
every game.
No, and
Putting
especially
himself through hell.
Yeah. No, like, I mean, think about it. He, at that age, he could pick a game where he's like, sore back, whatever. And he's just pushing through, and he's been such a pro through all of it. Like, through all of this, these type of challenges in his life at this point of his career and at this age will truly just make him better and better for anything else to come in his life.
Well, congratulations to Dylan Cardwell, our Butcher and Barrel player of the pre-All-Star break.
And make sure to go check out Butcher and Barrel, especially during the All-Star break or for Valentine's Day. They are so delicious. It is so amazing. I saw them just put out, you should go follow them too on Instagram because they put out all these different new menus that they have out there and everything else. And it's right across the street from Golden One Center. But they had this new one where they're showing all the meats and the different cuts. And they have this tomahawk steak that they like light it at the table side and everything. Like, and it's not a gimmick because it's actually delicious. They pick the best of the best. So just make sure to go check them out. Butcher and Barrel right across the street from Golden One Center.
Oh, yes. Check them out.
Give me a hell yeah.
It's like, that was delayed.
It was delayed.
That's okay.
What do you think AJ was thinking watching that game tonight?
I'm trying to think how much, like, he's probably like looking at some guys being like, it's no Richie Saunders. His BYU teammate, by the way.
I think he was probably watching the Kings tonight going, I think if I just like went out there in my clothes right now, I might score 16.
I mean, of course you feel that. Look at me get so literal. Like, of course he feels that.
You've been very literal tonight, you know?
It's okay.
With the story I told and now, right now.
Even with the story you told, though, like,
It was just a joke, a throwaway about the fact that he was just imagining AJ just going in the game and going, let me go ahead and put 16 on the King's head in my, I don't even know what he was wearing.
jeans and a zip up.
He was wearing jeans.
I think. Was he wearing denim? Like, what do you want? Do you want me the proper term?
He was
Pants?
Okay.
Was it denim?
I think he was wearing like sweatpants, but could be just a different picture.
Oh. But yeah, I think, I honestly think for these guys, like, of course you want to be a part of a team that makes sense for you, your development, your future, and everything else. And let's be real, the Kings haven't done a great job over the years developing talent. And then how many times have we seen guys go to different teams around the league and go, why are they doing better there? It's all situational,
Yep.
sure. But it's also like sometimes they're going to an organization that actually has a culture or sustainability or whatever. Kings haven't had that. And so, like, if they could start that with the next draft pick that they do have, it'd be cool. And I mean, I could sit here today and be like, but it hasn't happened yet. So why do I think it's gonna happen? And it's like, well, because I just have hope that it will.
I mean, you have to.
You have, because otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Then yeah, it's like, what are we watching for? If there's not just like that sliver of belief
Yep.
of like, dude, one of these years, it could just turn around and be good for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it can. Because guess what? The Kings had some really bad years in the 90s, and then they became a great story. And then since then, it's been, holy shit, a lot of bad, right? But they're not the first team in league history for that to happen. The Warriors felt that too when they missed the playoffs 17 of 18 years.
Yeah.
There's plenty. Like the Clippers were a joke forever. You know, like at some point it turns, and you hope it turns, and it's consistency for a long time, but there has to be patience. It's another thing I was talking about. Like, I remember when the Spurs were having a run, even with Popovich, where it's like, God, another first round exit for the Spurs.
Yeah.
They didn't like put Popovich on the hot seat. They figured it out, you know?
I mean, and that's the thing that Eric Spoelstra said
Yeah.
in Miami. And it's like, you know, sometimes even if you don't feel like you have the right guy, the right coach, the right front office, whatever it is, can you work with them and mold it into it being the right situation or it actually making sense? And so, yeah, I gotta have hope that that can happen here. You gotta.
Super chat from TR Campos donates $5. The only good thing about this season has been the graphic design team. Really random, but hey, we appreciate the super chat.
And that's really nice, by the way. And way to notice the little things too,
Yeah.
because there's so many people behind the scenes that put in so much work with this team. Devon Davis being one of my favorite humans that puts in so much work with the content team and everything else for the Kings.
Lots of good people there.
Yeah.
So the All-Star break is here.
Okay.
What do you want out of the final 26 games?
Woo.
Is number one structure with the young guys? Is that the number one thing? Are there any individuals that you're like, this is what I want to see after the break?
Yeah. Okay. That's a loaded question. I like it. I think there's a few things. Like if I was going to pick an individual, it would be to see Nick thrive and to see him thrive with whatever unit he's with. I don't give two shits if it's Zach LaVine or if it's Devin Carter.
What does thriving look like? Is that a certain number or is
Nope.
it just...
Nope, it's not. It's not a certain number. It's making sure that he's doing, I don't want to just say playing the right way because that is so vague. Doing all the things to make an impact, whether it is scoring, whether it is passing, whether it is rebounding, whether it's moving, whether it's playing defense and not fouling and being disciplined there and staying vertical. Like, I just want to see those things taken to the next level with him because I think he is such a smart player. He has the ability to learn each game. And I feel like with the two big rookies, we've seen them take in the knowledge and take what they every single game and they put it into the next. And Nick is in a way different position because he's not a big and he's on a team with a shit ton of guards and trying to figure out his flow and where he needs to be and what his role is. But your role is to just hoop, play ball, do things the right way. Be confident when you're with Zach LaVine. Be confident when you're with Devin Carter. And like, I think there's times tonight, you know, like Devin Carter is just going downhill and going to the basket. And I don't think anything's necessarily wrong with that. But if people aren't creating for you, take that ball back and create for others. You know, like, I guess, show what you want everyone else to be doing. Lead by example. That's what I want him to be doing in this last chunk of the season.
26 games, and I'm thinking, oh, I want some more structure out there. I don't know how realistic that is.
Yeah.
With limited amount of practice time and all that, but
and who's going to be healthy, who's not going to be healthy.
But I also think you could install some things.
I agree. I don't care if Keegan's back. Like, you can still install things, you know?
Now that's one. In the final 26 games, he's supposed to be reevaluated right before they return, right?
Yeah.
I want to see him come back and have a strong finish. And even if that's only, hey, there's 26 games left and he plays in
15.
Yeah, well, I was going to say 18, whatever, 15, 18
Yeah.
games. I just want to go, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
There's a future.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
Right. And that's more offensively than anything. I already know what he can do defensively.
Yes,
and
I agree.
I think if he's playing next to DeAndre Hunter, we're going to have moments where like, oh, you can see how that can
Yeah.
help him a little bit out there. There's not as much pressure on him to be the guy all the time, picking up all the tough matchups. There's another guy who's 6'8", long wingspan, and can defend a little bit, not to his level, but is a capable defender in DeAndre Hunter. But I think for me, it's offensively. It's him. I mean, some of the things we talked about with Neek, we talked about with Keegan in the past. And Keegan has to come back and go, no, this is my shit.
Yes.
This is my team.
Yep.
At least for now.
And you got to find a way in, like, honestly, like, he's got to do that. And there's only going to be the first couple of games that everyone's going to be okay with. Oh, okay, he's missing because he's finding his groove. Oh, he's missing because of this. You can't have that many excuses of why he's missing the basketball, right? Like, they're just, you gotta start making your shots. And even if they're going to be difficult at times because you don't have the team, the threats on the team to make your life easier, that's been your life in the NBA. Well, except with De'Aaron, I guess, but like, figure it out. Like, you're good enough player. Show that you're a good enough player and you can knock down those shots.
And here's a question. The Kings' worst record they've ever had was that 08-09 season when they won 17 games.
Okay.
They're at 12 right now. Will they exceed 17 wins? They would have to have 6 wins down the stretch. So could they go 6-20 the rest of the way?
Yes.
Do you think they will? It's going to be close.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be close.
It's going to be very close. But I think if they have guys back, yes. I think that's an obvious duh. But they've played bad even with those guys out there on the floor. It's just been like, it's so hard to evaluate this team and what they will look like even with guys back. It's wild. And I'm excited for the young guys to learn and play down the stretch, have this experience. But I also do want to see Keegan, DeAndre Hunter back because I want them to start playing together before going into training camp. Like, I know we were talking about with Utah over the last week or so where it's like, oh, are they tanking because they're not playing Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. in the fourth and stuff? Tonight it made sense. But in some of those other games, I'm like, I know they want to develop their young guys, but don't they want to develop their young guys with the guys that they're trying to get better with? And that's where I want to see the Kings, if they believe in Max or Neek or whoever, make sure that they're playing with Keegan and Hunter down the stretch.
And you need Hunter to play well. There's
I
also
agree.
a chance he's not on the team next year. They could trade him this offseason, his expiring contract, and get something out of it.
True.
They're going to have to cut money somewhere. They got a lot of money on the books next year. A lot. So that's another thing to see. You're talking about the tanking thing. And like, I feel like Utah has been absolutely hammered on that front.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because Washington, to me, is a bigger tanking story than anything with what they've done, literally sitting their young talent in the fourth quarter. Like, of course, they're not playing Trae Young or Anthony Davis. That's suspect. We all know it. But when you're not playing Keyshawn George or Bub Carrington or Alex Sarr down the stretch of games and you're going, hey, Scala Bicier, you're on a 10-day. You're playing 30-plus minutes and close out the Kings. And by the way, not on the team anymore. You know, like, that's where it's weird. I will say this. Utah, at the very least, they're playing their guys still.
Yeah.
They're just not playing them a ton of minutes.
No.
And
tonight it made sense. They had the largest lead in the entire world.
Markkanen played 20. Nurkic played 26. Jaren Jackson played 22.
No, watching it tonight, it made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It made sense. But there have been games recently where they weren't playing in the fourth quarter. And your point is, well, if they did care, they would build that chemistry together in a tight game in the fourth quarter of games. But they don't care to win. But at the same time, I do think to defend the Jazz a little bit, they're not just playing guys on 10-day contracts. Like, some of the guys they are playing are their young guys.
Yep.
And
Actually
they look
developing.
at themselves as a bad team. So I think both things can be true. I think Utah's trying to protect their pick so they don't give it up, right? They want to stay within that. I think that they want to stay in the top 8, I believe it is. Otherwise, they have to give up their pick.
Top 8 protected.
So they want to be in a position to keep their pick and then therefore have a chance at maybe moving up. But at the same time, they're not a very good team either.
Yeah.
So it's like this balancing act is like, yeah, we need to protect that, but we still need to play, Filipowski. We need to play, which it's funny. He only played, 8 minutes tonight. Look, or was that Harkless? Okay, no, he played 9. I can't read right now. 8 minutes for Filipowski. Sorry. You need to play Isaiah Collier. You need to play Ace Bailey. Like those guys definitely need the experience too when you're not a good team.
Yeah.
So the league's going to have a lot to think about with how things look going forward. It's worth mentioning though tonight that Markkanen was actually listed as out before the game. Like last night, he was listed as out, rest. Then like an hour later, he was available.
After all the conversations happening around tanking and the Jazz not doing the right thing. And it's smart that they did do that. And they're like, okay, well, we don't want to be freaking tick for tack.
Morgan, you can't be listing a player out for rest when there's a literal break the next day for a week in the league.
Yep. Well, they actually, don't they have a game tomorrow?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
They do play tomorrow.
Yeah. So
second I have a back-to-back.
So maybe they were like, okay, we're going to have him play one of the games.
Sure.
But who cares?
It doesn't matter.
It's like either way, like clean up your mess, figure it out. You only had to play him 20 minutes anyway because you had a big fat lead in this game.
Yeah. The league, I don't know what they're going to have to do with this. I would love to change the lottery rules. But I think that's going to be a big conversation at All-Star Weekend. We're going to All-Star Weekend.
We are.
Well, to be fair, we're not going to the game on Sunday. What would be your J Street Dental moment of this game?
No, don't do that. I have mine.
Yeah.
Doug McDermott dunked it.
Doug dunking. Dougie McBuckets dunks.
It was huge. Biggest play of the night. I loved it. I didn't know he could still jump.
We have to note 14 in a row,
Thank you. Oh, yeah. And the Kings lose 14 in a row. Make sure to check out J Street Dental, enriching lives and enhancing smiles. Head to jstreetdentalgroup.com. You can also check out their sister office, Sacramento River Dental, if you want smiles like these.
Appreciate your support of the podcast, too. That's our moment of the game. Yeah, we're going down to All-Star Weekend. We are going down there tomorrow. Actually, going to the Comedy Store tomorrow night.
Hey.
Can't wait for that. And then we'll be there for Rising Stars and All-Star Saturday night, and then coming back Sunday.
Can't wait.
I just didn't care to go to the game. I know that's messed up, but it's like the game.
It's
I remember
not
last year how
messed
boring it was.
That was so weird last year. It was just, it wasn't worth it last year. And it's like the amount of traffic and everything else. And it was just like walking in heels, and it was just like barf.
I was talking about the game.
Well, no, but I was just talking about everything, even leading into the game. And I'm like, that was like, usually like if a game is good, then I'm not thinking about anything else. Like, who cares about traffic? Who cares about my feet hurting or anything else? I'm like, holy shit, that was fun.
Yeah.
There was none of that last year after the game. So,
All right, final thoughts time. Kings fans,
you're one of a kind.
well, you are one of a kind. That's true. That's a fact.
Facts.
This has been a really tough year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even going back to all the way to last December once Mike Brown was fired. Holy shit. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. There's 26 games left, and then we're preparing for lottery. We're getting ready for the NBA draft, and there's just going to be excitement for the draft. You're going to have a good pick. And so as low as it feels right now, it's going to be okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, yeah.
Just remember this, because whenever the high comes, hopefully it will just be absolutely amazing.
And it was. That Beam Team year was amazing. Remember the high we felt?
It's an out of body experience. And not a lot of, I think only certain sports franchises would actually understand it.
Morgan, going to the airport when they clinched
I know.
and seeing thousands of people out there to greet the team when they got
Crazy.
back from that trip.
Yeah.
And then
Like
Remember?
what it means to the city.
Remember we went to Doco? We remember we went outside Golden
I
One Center
remember.
when they clinched and people had champagne?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
The playoff beam. The playoff
oh my
beam.
God,
it
the
was
playoff
so
beam, dude.
pretty. So pretty. It was just so much brighter.
Yeah. And the high of, I was thinking about this too. I'm like, what was the high mark of last King season? And I think for me, it was the night before the season when we did our live show at Harlow's, and there's like optimism throughout. We just
Oh
felt
my
so good.
God.
It was such a fun live show.
That was so fun.
And we had no idea what we were getting into. And that's the beauty and pain of sports, right?
Yeah.
Like we went into that. Oh my God, what a live show. We're all excited about the
Chelsea Gray joined us.
Hey, we're going to see DeMar DeRozan play tomorrow. Let's
Shit,
go.
yeah.
Literally 2 months later, done.
Yeah.
Done. Over.
And then it rolls into this. And it's like,
Yeah.
in this, although the expectations were low, the feelings are just so weird to manage. And so, like, I'm so glad we've all been able to manage this together. We made it to the All-Star break together.
Yeah.
Let's take this little deep breath and gather back on February 19th.
Let's do it. Last thing I'm going to say, thank you guys. Seriously. I know when your team's bad, it's not always fun to hop on a YouTube stream or download a podcast or watch later and go, hey, let's listen to people talk about this shitty game I just watched. Or, hey, wow, I'm not really paying as much attention, but let me listen to what Deuce and Mo are talking about as they are losing by 30 again. We thank you. Thanks for hanging
So
with
much.
us. You know, our goal is no matter what, we want to have fun. And I said it before the year because I had a feeling it was going to be a tough year. I did not anticipate 12 and 44 at the break.
No.
Bad. But I thought it was going to be a tough year. And one of the things we talked about is like, we have to approach every podcast with like, we have to at least laugh once.
Yeah.
We have to have fun. We can't let the team success dictate our moods on the podcast.
Because this is so fun for
Yeah.
us. Like, just having this community has been like one of the best things to ever happen to us as creators, as broadcasters, and everything. And so, like, no one was going to take that away. Not even some shitty basketball.
No, and we've had our frustrating moments, of course, this year. But as this continues on, it's like, am I supposed to be mad every time they lose another game? Like, do I like it? No. And I think some people expect us to like lose our minds, be like, dude, Cole loves somebody. Like, we do this because we have fun doing this. And the second I don't have fun doing this podcast, I will not be doing this podcast because this is,
That's
it's
what
basketball.
about.
We're used to being kind of bad in Sacramento. So if anything, let's have fun talking about some tough circumstances along the way.
Thanks for having fun with us talking about the tough circumstances along the way.
We love you guys, but we got to go.
You all have amazing rest of your night and a great break.
See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.